Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. It's good to see everyone again. And welcome, Terrence, for coming too. Thank you so much. So, for today's live stream, I wanted to uh, have a short little talk about what happened today and what's been going on recently. So it's like it's kind of like, I guess, like a faith story of sorts. But I also wanted to kind of give a little bit more of like, not just say the faith story, but like also kind of like a perspective on it as well. Oh, and welcome, William-san. Thank you so much for coming today as well. Thank you. Yes. Basically, today, my friend I haven't seen in like 11 years, she came to Japan uh, like for the first time in 11 years. So it was like a long time reunion we were able to do today. And so the story of my friend is that we met a long, long time ago, like 2012 or 13 online on Tumblr and stuff. And from there, we became like fast friends and we kind of connected more on like similar spiritual religious viewpoints. And eventually, I like told her about Konko Kyo and like my own faith, and she got interested into it, and we would exchange about like Konkokyo alongside a lot of other stuff. And so I went to Japan for the first time in 2015, and then like the next year, or like I don't remember if it was like before I had went to Japan or after I left, but like around the same time, like 2015, 2016, my friend also went to Japan to live there for a few months, studying Japanese. And during that time, my friend went to Konkokyo Yokosuka, Shiba Kyokai, not Yokosuka, but Shiba Kyokai. I'll read it down. Wait. Konkokyo Shiba Kyokai. This is like a kyokai in Tokyo, and this is actually like it was kind of crazy because I wasn't really a part of Yokosuka Kyokai at the time, like at that time back then. But actually, Shiba Kyokai is like Yokosuka's parent kyokai. So like the founder of Yokosuka Kyokai was like a worshiper at Shiba Kyokai. And then he trained under the minister there. And then he founded Yokosuka Kyokai. So we have like a very close connection. And Masafumi Sensei's Oya Sensei, like his teacher, is the head minister of Shiba Kyokai currently, Akemi Sensei, and he trained under her. So it's like the connection is super strong. And but we didn't know all this before my friend went to Shiba Kyokai. So it was like when we found out later, it was like so like kami-sama moment, like just Goen like connection, divine connection. But so she had been going to Shiba Kyokai, but sorry, but oh, hello, Iniza-san, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. So yeah, so my friend had been going to Shiba Kyokai, but unfortunately she had to leave Japan, and she promised Akemi Sensei she would go back someday. And finally, like today was that day. 11 years later, finally she was able to come. And it's kind of hard for my friend because she has a lot of like, there's a lot of stuff she has to deal with, like physically and like at home, and a whole bunch of other things that like made it really difficult to come to Japan, let alone COVID, which also prevented like a long time from coming here. Like almost half of the 11 years was basically all COVID. So that's why it took her a really long time. But finally, she was able to come back, and I'm so thankful. But one difficult situation is that basically, so Akemi Sensei at Shiba Kyokai, she had a situation happen to her where basically she suffered from like, I don't want to get too into the details, but she suffered from an issue like an injury to her head, um, and so because of that, it's hard for her sometimes to like remember things. So like unfortunately, like Akemi Sensei, like her memory is a little bit like like difficult right now. But like without getting too much into it, but she's still like healthy and she's doing well for what happened, and she's able to serve in the grand ceremonies. But for the monthly ceremonies, like she just kind of like makes sure everything's okay. But right now, her husband, Utsugi Sensei, he's the vice head minister. He's like, serving the ceremonies and everything. So what we were worried about was like, would it be okay to visit her when she's dealing with everything? Like, would it be okay to visit Akemi Sensei when she's dealing with everything going on? And we were worried about that. But thankfully today, like everything was going super well. And even though like she's struggling with her condition, um, I feel like my friend was really really worried that like Sensei would forget her, um, and like you know, and I explained the condition, but it was really hard, like just emotionally because she promised she would go back, and now this situation is happening with her condition and everything. So like we were like talking about it, and my friend was like, I can like beginning to like process everything that's been happening. And I was like also a little bit worried because like we know it, like it was the condition, but still it's like emotional, right? Because you want to have a reunion and like fulfill the promise, but it's like difficult now. But thankfully, like I feel like thanks to Kami-sama, everything went really really nicely, and I feel like Sensei recognized my friend because she was like when like she saw her, she like her face was lit up and she was like, oh, and it was like so thankful that like I feel like they connected, like even though there was like the physical condition that Sensei has to deal with. I feel like their mitama samas, like their souls, were able to connect in spite of the condition, and it was really really moving and powerful to see because I know like as a third person like how much they wanted to meet again, and I feel like they were both like really waiting for this moment to reconnect, because Sensei had been praying for my friend for like so long, because my friend is also dealing with a lot of like medical things, and then now it was like my friend's turn to also pray for Sensei for the things she's going through with her medical conditions. And it was like very like powerful and moving to see. And I was so thankful to like not just Kami-sama, like Kami-sama of course, but like everything that came together to make this meeting happen, and like all the support of everyone that was able to have them meet again. It was really really moving. And like the fact that like my friend didn't give up hope or like give up trying, even though it had been over a decade, like she didn't give up. Like she was trusting Kami-sama this whole time to like bring her back to like her spiritual home at Shiba Kyokai. So it was very moving. And my friend had made Sensei like 1,000 cranes, like a huge 1,000 crane origami for like Sensei's good health. And she was like so happy when she saw it, Sensei. She was like, oh my gosh, like this is beautiful, thank you so much. And like it was so heartwarming. And we took lots of pictures, and thankfully like the memory is there now. And I'm really really thankful like everything worked out, and like the reunion was so powerful, and I was so like so full of gratitude. Like it's hard to explain into words, but like I had also been like praying like all this time, like I really hope that my friend can go back and see her Oya sensei, like her parent sensei, and reconnect to her spiritual home, like in Shiba Kyokai. And finally, like this was the day that we were able to have it happen, and it was like in spite of everything, and like in spite of like COVID happening, and in spite of like Sensei's condition and like her condition, because like she has a lot going on and it's hard for her to travel, and just like everything, like against like all the odds, like against all the obstacles and troubles and difficulties, they were able to have the reunion that they were praying for so long. And I was like, it was just very like emotional, because like like I just felt like like literally like in spite of everything, that it was able to happen. And like I almost feel like it, like you could call it like a miracle of sorts, and maybe that's too much to say, but I genuinely think it is in a way, because like it would have been so much like more like the cause and effect would have been more common for it to just not happen. It could have been like very easy that like they never met again, and like that, like it just like whether something happened to Sensei or my friend, or like even just like my friend had to move, or like something in life happened, like there could have been so many things, and it could have been so easy for them to never meet again. But like it happened. So, and not only did it happen, but like against like a lot of like the high probability that like Sensei wouldn't have been able to recognize her, but she did. So it was like very thankful that she was able to, in spite of like the condition that she's going through. And I feel like that was very like intense as well, because you know like it's like it's powerful, because like biology would dictate that the illness like that would make it so that Sensei would be unable to remember, because of the way the medical condition works. Like it would, like it's hard for Sensei to remember. Like the memory is affected biologically. But I feel like the Mitama, like the soul, also holds memories and keeps those memories. And I feel like like that's what brought them back together. And it was very, very powerful and moving to see. And it was also powerful because like the first time my friend went, she went by herself. But now like I was there, and like my friend's partner was there. So like not only was she able to have a reunion, but also like we were there to support her and like celebrate with her together. So it was like even more blessings. And it was like very, very powerful and like very moving. So yeah. Hello everyone. Welcome. And yeah, it was just like a wonderful day. And honestly, like I know that it's hard for them. I guess no, thank you so much for listening too. And like yeah, like I know it's hard for the Kyokai to like host us. Like we weren't expecting to be like hosted like guests, because like it was the monthly ceremony today, and we just wanted to come today. So like, because if we went on another day, like I didn't want them to like like specifically like make time to like host us and like have tea and everything, because of Sensei's condition, like she needs to rest a lot, and it's difficult to meet for a long period of time, and there's so much they have to like do and take care of. So like I was talking to my friend and their partner, and we were like, yeah, like it might be better we just come on the ceremony day, so like they're already ready, and then like they'll have to be like for the ceremony, so it'd be easier to meet. So we were planning like around that, and thankfully like it all like came together, and I'm so thankful. And like it's just like it's hard for me to express, because like I guess what I wanted to say as like kind of the message, I guess, of this story is that like no matter how long it took for her to reunite with her Oya sensei, she persisted in praying, and like never gave up the hope that like she would meet her again. And like of course my friend had times where she was like, I don't think it's gonna happen again, and like the world is going crazy, like I don't even know if Japan will ever open again because of COVID. But even in those moments where she was like having anxiety or like doubts, she like did not give up on the prayer. And she's like, no, I'm going to like see her again. And I was getting nervous myself because I saw Sensei's condition. And, you know, since the incident happened, she had been slowly getting weaker. And I was scared, like, maybe there's not a lot of time for my friend to meet Sensei again before, like, you know, maybe she has to go to the hospital or, like, she has to stay home and she can't come to the Kyokai. Like, there's so many things that can happen, right? So this, like, I'm like praying to the coming someone, like, it has to happen before they can't anymore. Like please, like, let this happen. And so it was like 11 years of like consistent prayer. And like also my friend put in work too, because it's like it's difficult for her to work like a regular like 9 to 5 kind of job, so it's like harder to earn money. But she managed to like find a way like to earn money. And I won't get too like personal because it's her personal life. I don't want to like, you know, get too into it on stream and stuff. But like she works really really hard and like is consistent in her work, and she was able to build up like a community of people who like support her as well. So it was so thankful. And basically like she does like videos like this, so like, you know, like social media like talks and like kind of like a podcast, like, you know, that sort of thing, um without getting too like personal. But yeah, so like it's her community and her work she put into like helping others, and in turn they are helping her back to come to Japan and like helping support her. And so like it feels like everything, like her prayer, her hard work, her like determination to not give up, like, you know, and also like Kami-sama's like arrangement to like help connect her with other people that can like help support her goal, and like of course the support of her partner who's like helping take care of her and taking care of other things. Like everything came together for them to be reunited. And like I feel like that is like the essence of like Konko Faith, is like, you know, like it's not just like you pray and then like expect it to be fulfilled without doing anything. Like sometimes if you really really want a prayer to come true, you just have to like not give up and just keep like persistently like determined, like just keep like focused on your prayer, and like put in, of course, like put in the effort to like try to make it happen as well. But that's the important part, is like you don't give up your faith in like Kami-sama and the trust that it will come true, and you just keep like keep at it, you know, like just don't give up. And through like everything that happened, um like it can happen as long as you like just keep persistent, like keep determined and keep working hard to make it come true. And also like the right timing. So like I feel like if it happened any sooner or like any later, it wouldn't be like the right timing, because when she first was feeling sick like a few years ago, it was like right during COVID. So it was like not a good time to travel, and the doctors were like still figuring everything out. And then like finally like the last 2 years, like things have kind of got into a better routine and like more stable-ish, and like more of the Kyokai like members are able to like help out and like do like the extra work. So I feel like now was like the best timing. And also it was really good timing because like March is not super busy really in like Kyokai. Like it's like if it was grand ceremony time or New Year's, it would be super like tough to meet. But like this time was like also the perfect timing. There was like the cherry blossoms and like the good weather. It was supposed to rain too. Like the weather report the day before, it was like it was gonna be super heavy rains. But then like all the rain came overnight. And then today it was like perfectly sunny, like perfect weather, not too windy. Like it was just like the perfect day. And like all of this timing and like hard work and like determination, like all of it came together, and they were able to like finally reunite after all this time. And it was just like, it was so much. So I was like really, really moved today, and so thankful to Kami-sama, and like so happy for my friend and for Sensei too. Oh, okay. Redeem-san says, if there's some kind of story of how Akemi-sensei became Kyokaicho and her husband Fuku Kyokaicho, since it's not common in Japanese society for a woman to be higher than her husband. Oh, yes. So I don't know the real story, but I do know, like, in Konko Faith, like Konko Kyo, um, like, women are like equal, like treated equal. So I like in the Konko perspective, like it doesn't really matter like if the person's like a woman or a man, as long as they're like capable and willing to like take the position, and also their age, of course. Like you have to be a certain like experience, right? So the age is really important, like age and experience, but not like gender. So like I think, I'm not sure, but I know that Akemi Sensei is like amazing. Like she's an amazing minister, and her Toritsugi is so powerful. Like she's the minister that like everything Masafumi Sensei knows. Like she taught him. Like she is like super wise and super close to Kami-sama. So I feel like her connection to Kami-sama, like even Utsugi Sensei, like her husband admires her so much for her connection to Kami-sama and her Toritsugi. So I feel like, I don't know, it was just like natural that she would be the Kyokaicho, and like he would support her as Fuku Kyokaicho. And now too, of course, he's supporting her through the illness. But just like her virtue is so big, and so I feel like everyone recognized that, and that's why she was Kyokaicho, or she is Kyokaicho. So I think like, I don't know, I think because she's just a really good minister, that's probably why. Because they're Akemi Sensei and her husband are like the same age. So yeah, I think they're just like that was the way that worked well for them and for the Kyokai too, because everyone in Shiba Kyokai like looks up to her so much. And like even as she's going through this illness, like nobody like is disrespecting her at all or like treating her lesser. Like they're all like really taking care of her and like showing her love and support, even though she's struggling a lot with this illness. But thankfully, like everyone's supporting her. But yeah, so that's one good thing about Konko is like it doesn't matter your gender. Like anybody, as long as you're like you have the virtue and like you're capable and you have the wisdom and like experience, yeah, you can. It's like it's good for you to be Kyokaicho, because that virtue will like help all the members and like help them with Toritsugi and like help support the shrine. So it's really really good that way. But unfortunately, like as well, so like this is like Konko Kyo, but yes, like Japanese society and culture does play a part in Konko faith at times. So like even if like in Konko faith like it doesn't matter the gender, but like socially sometimes like the wife minister, like the woman minister, she'll like purposely like kind of step a bit back to like let her husband do the stuff. And it's not like a Kongo thing, but it's more like just like the Japanese social thing. That like that's what's comfortable for them. It's not even like the woman, the wife is like oppressed. Like it's that like like genuinely like socially like it's more comfortable that way. Like she lets her husband do the like shrine, like the kyokaicho stuff, and then she'll do like the like like I don't know how to say it, like the support work of the Fuku Kyokaicho. But in this case, like it was more comfortable for them that Akemi Sensei is the Kyokaicho, and then Itsugi Sensei is like her support. So it depends, but yeah. So there's like it's like complicated, but it's like that. I can't speak for like other faiths or like other shrines because I don't know. But like this is kind of like how it is in Konko. It's like very equal. And that goes back to Kyoso-sama too, because like Reverend Takashi Tomi Sensei, excuse me, like Kyoso-sama was saying like how she's like his equal, and she's like the same level, and all the other women ministers who wanted to be like more active, they were treated with the same respect as the men. So it was just a matter of like, do they have the motivation and the willingness to like aggressively like not outreach, you know what I mean, like put themselves in the toritsugi seat to like have do toritsugi for people like more face to face. It's a little bit more like pressure as well, and like a lot of responsibility. So, and like socially as well, because like people outside of Konko would like judge the women like, oh, I don't know if she's like legit. but but thankfully, like, of course, their virtue was so strong, and like people can feel that. So that's like the good point of Konko Faith. So yeah. Oh, sorry. Redeem-san says, thank you. Yes, that's what I was thinking about. Like for women to be more humble and given the higher position to men. Ah, yes, yes. Yeah, like that's like a Japanese cultural thing. Like oksan, like wife, like literally means like the person behind. So that's like a cultural thing, like very common. And again, like it's not even like necessarily like they're always pressured. It's literally just um like okay, for example, this is like really traditional mindset, but like the house and like the kitchen was like the woman's like domain. So like she was like the boss, right? So she was the boss in the house and the kitchen and like preparing the meals and the finances. And like the man could not say anything to like get in her work. But conversely, like the man would be like, farming or like being a samurai or something, or like working like a merchant. And like she wouldn't have a say in what he does. So they would have their own like domains and like their own like worlds. And like he wouldn't be able to tell her what to do like in her realm, and she wouldn't be able to say what he has to do in his area. So it was kind of like that. And like even with like Shinto and like some Konko faith, it was the same where like the man would be like doing the toritsugi stuff and like the shrine work, and she would be taking care of like the support stuff, like preparing for like the offerings or like cleaning the shrine or things like that. But they wouldn't like, it would be like harmonious like that because they wouldn't argue. Like everyone would have their job and role. I think women also would like sew and like weave kimonos, so they would also do work like that. um but but like, and it's kind of still like that now because like some like housewives, like they like, what I mean by some housewives is like most women in Japan now like have a job and like go to university, etc. But like some girls, like they prefer to be like a housewife, and when they're a housewife, they get the paycheck from the husband, and then they write like all the like finances, and they like manage the household and like raise the children, and like everything, they like have it locked in. But like the man, like he just does that, like he does his work and then that's it. So it's like that. It's not like that here. So for like me and Masafumi sensei, like it's just equal. Like, we like switch chores. So like he'll cook and I'll clean, or like, I don't know, like we always like rotate. It's very modern. So, and yeah, like of course we do equal toritsugi work too. But like some other kyokai, like even at Toronto Kyokai, like it's kind of like that where like Kishi sensei, like my sensei, my Oya sensei, he does like a lot of the like shrine like headminister work, and then his wife, Toshiko sensei, she'll like teach kibimai or like help with the after service like luncheon and stuff. But they're like happy, like it's not like strictly like forced into it. It's just natural. So it just depends on the individual couples. But yeah, like that is like traditional Japanese culture. um but then it's like different too. So it's like that. And like especially in Konko too, like again, like it's just very like as long as you have the drive, um then you just can do the same work and you're expected the same like responsibility. Like it's not like even like because like sometimes like people like they make like it easier, I guess, for the women, or like not as like if something bad happens, like maybe sometimes they'll say like, oh, like it's okay, like nothing, it's okay, everything's fine. But like if something bad happens and for like a kyokaicho, like a head minister, and they're a man or a woman, they like have to like be responsible like for everything that happens. So it's like a ton of pressure and like a lot of work. And you're like in the spotlight, like everything is on you. So it's like it's not even really like I don't know, like it's hard, right? So sometimes it's easier to just like be like it's not my like talk to the head minister. It's not me. It's like easier that way. Um, but yeah, if you do like become that position, like you are super responsible for everything. So it's kind of like that. And like I know like even in some traditional areas of like jinja and stuff, they're like changing it more too, just to match with like modern time stuff. But I don't know about Buddhism. I don't think. I'm not sure. I guess it depends on like the sect and everything with Buddhism. I'm not familiar with it. But yeah, so that's kind of how it works like here in Konko. But it's really interesting. But yeah, she's like going back to Akemi Sensei. She's like a really amazing minister. And honestly, we were like, I was saying to my friend, like, considering what happened to her, like, medically, like, the fact that she's, like, still, like, going strong, I don't think any, like, normal person, I don't even think I would survive what she went through. Like, literally, I don't think I would survive what she went through. But she is, like, still going strong through that. And I honestly think that's, like, Kami-sama, like an evidence of her connection to Kami-sama and like how it strengthens her body through this like very severe condition. And like again, I don't want to get too into it because it's personal, but it's like something that will like it would generally like someone would die from it, but she's like still really like active, and it's like amazing in and of itself. So yeah, she's like I would consider her a legendary minister. And I think she's like in her 70s. Um, or yeah, I think she's in her. I don't think she's 80 yet, but she's more like elder. And yeah, so she has had a lot of experience. I think she's been a sensei for at least like maybe like I want to say wait maybe like at least 20 years, 20 30 years. I have to ask Masumi Sensei, but it's a long time, like probably before I was born. Honestly, so it's like she's amazing. But yeah, it was just a wonderful day, and I don't know, like I hope that my friends 1,000 cranes will like help her heal more too. And maybe it's like I'm gonna believe that the meeting like will help her heal more and like help her manage things more, and hopefully it gets better. And that's all we can do, like just pray for things to be better. But I was just like so thankful for today, and I wanted to share it with you guys because it's like it was very powerful, and I think it shows like the virtue of like kamisama and the power of like persistent, like not giving up. And even if all you can do is pray, um that those prayers will carry you through the years and like help you get to a point where you can fulfill the prayer and like make things happen and like the right timing and everything. So I thought that was very powerful. Um Honestly, I would it's kind of like I remember like talking to my friend, and we kind of compared it to like farming. So like, you know, like of course, like when you're growing a farm or like a garden, like, or like a tree, like you want to grow trees or anything in nature. There's this period where like it looks like nothing's happening because you planted the seeds. But it's just like not like it's not going to be like immediately like sprouting up like Jack and the Beanstalk. It takes time. So like I always keep telling my friend is like, you know, you have to like tend to the farm, you have to like tend to the garden, like, you know, just like keep at it, like check the seeds, like water them, make sure everything is like going as it should. And all you need really is like time then to pass, like the seasons to pass, the time to go, for allowing the seeds that you planted to grow. The only thing that can really make that happen is time and patience. So it's the same thing with like prayer, I feel, is like, yes, when you pray for something, it's kind of like planting a seed or like planting a tree. And you need to have patience and like persistence and like trust that it will start to grow slowly. And when it gets to a certain point, like in growing, yes, you do have to like kind of put more effort into making sure it doesn't get like damaged in storms, or like animals will eat it, or like things like that, right? So there's a point like when it sprouts that like this part you can't control, like from the soil to the sprout. But when it gets to the sprouting point, that's when you can like affect it. And you have to like put the effort in to make sure it doesn't like die or get damaged. And then when you're putting that effort in to make sure that doesn't happen, it can like start to grow on its own. And then from there it like blossoms and like is steady and like rooted. So I think it's the same with prayer, where like, you know, if you pray for something, you're planting the seed and you need to have patience, but then there's a point where you have to like act and like put in the effort yourself to make sure it will stay like rooted and stable. And then once you get past that point, I feel like it will be steady, like the blessings will be more steady from that prayer. It just takes like, that's a thing where like it gets a lot of people, where like it takes the time to do that, and the patience and the perseverance and the determination, and, you know, just not giving up. And I think it's hard because like while you're waiting for this part, there will be hardships, there will be suffering. Like, it's not like everything was easy for my friend as she was like praying through all this time. Like it was really hard. She like had to go through so much. And I know this too, like life doesn't stop, and like so much can happen, like illness, deaths, you have to move your house, like school and work, like so much can happen, right? And while this is happening, it's like you can't give up praying while this is all happening. You have to like keep watching the seed and like watch, make protecting the plant of your prayer. So that takes a lot of strength and like a lot of like mental, like steeling yourself in this like difficult time, and not just immediately like giving up and saying, oh, like Kami-sama's not listening to me, Kami-sama doesn't care about me. um you know, if you go into that like thought, then it will like, then you'll just like abandon the farm or the garden, and then when it gets to that sprouted point, it's easily damaged or like ruined, and nothing can happen, right? So that is the difficult part, that is like the really hard part to get through. And like, yeah, like that's why like so many Konko teachings are like, you know, even if bad things are happening to you as you're praying to Kami-sama, it doesn't mean that Kami-sama like gave up on you or like is not listening to you. It's just like, it's just like life is happening as the prayers are like growing and like manifesting. I don't know, manifest, I don't like saying manifesting, but like as they are like being known and like prayed for, and like made things arranged to happen to have them fulfilled, life will still happen. So it's not like it's not like Kami-sama doesn't care. It's just like it will still happen regardless of like what you're praying for. So I think that's important to remember. Like something I am praying about right now, like that I don't give up, is like it's like a more like, it's not a personal prayer. It's like a global, global prayer. Like I'm praying for like these world issues to kind of get better and like recover, like from all the violence and conflict and corruption and issues. Like I'm praying like we can finally get to a point in the world where like it's like more like peaceful, in a sense that like negotiations can happen and talks can happen, and like corrupt leaders don't immediately jump to war or like exploitation or like other horrible things. Like I just want things to run as smoothly as possible without corruption. I want world leaders to do their jobs as world leaders. Like I'm not expecting them to be perfect human beings. I just want them to be responsible for what their job and role is. Like as I would like a teacher or a doctor or like anyone in a profession to fulfill their job as professionals. The same should be for government officials and people in power. So that's all I'm praying for. Like I'm not praying for people to be like super perfect human beings, but just like do their job properly without corruption and like all these things. So I'm just praying for that, but it literally feels like not, it's getting worse despite praying for it. But I don't want to give up, and I want to keep like persistent. And even though I don't really have any control or say in anything, there might be a time when I could, I don't know, because like what if Kami-sama, like either through like, I don't know, through whatever like event or connection, and then somehow like sometimes in your life you can like connect to one person, and then one person can know this person, and then this person knows this person, and then this person will know like someone in a powerful position, and then they can like spread a message to that person without you ever even knowing. And I've had this happen sometimes, and it's really intense. And so that's why I'm like everyone I meet, like either through like email or online or in real life, I just like of course like I gotta treat everybody with respect, like basic decent respect. um you know and of course like try to connect to them and like be polite, and I try to share like the teachings I learned from my senseis and like my experiences with the person. And then I don't know where that will travel through that person, like who knows where it will end up. And sometimes it's ended up like like connecting to someone who's in a position where they can like, they're in a powerful position, I guess, like socially. um so then like they can change their mindset to like be more ethical, or like open their mind to the bigger picture of things, and like not just focus on like material gain, or like the rat race like trying to like make themselves like secure or something, right? And sometimes like even the smallest thing can change someone else's perspective, and you don't know where like your connections will take you. And it doesn't matter like what country you're in or like where you are. Like I would honestly argue like it can be like the most random of places. And so I just pray to Kami-sama to like make those connections and like somehow reach where it needs to reach. Even if I have no idea about it until like years later, I just hope for like this sort of thing, right? Like it doesn't, like a prayer doesn't always have to be answered in like a way you can imagine it either. So like let's say I'm praying for like a better government, and it's not necessarily like just voting them all out, or like I don't know, I declare myself emperor and I try to take over the world. Like it's not that simple. But it could be answered through like connections, or like through influencing, or like through the person like seeing something, and then like a chain of events can happen where either like they leave, or like something happens to them, or like they change their mind, and like this might not necessarily be the case for like people in really high positions of power, like super rich and powerful, like world leaders. This might not be the case. But you never know, right? Like I don't know how things can connect and work. So I just keep like praying and like why do I keep praying is like because it's like letting Kami-sama know that I really want this to like happen. It's like communicating it to like the universe, I guess, like Tenchika no Kami-sama. But it's not like necessarily like doing that will make it happen. It's more like if you pray, then Tenchika no Kami-sama will acknowledge it, and then like with that acknowledgement, which whatever the like various unknown chain of events and factors and like difficulties and like free will and like all the complicated things that I have no idea about, they know, Kami-sama knows about it, so they will work towards that if that prayer is to like alleviate suffering, like unnecessary suffering in the world, because there will always be suffering in life, but what Tenchika no Kami-sama wants to alleviate is like unnecessary suffering caused by human-centeredness, a human-centered heart. So basically, like Tenchika no Kami-sama wants us to go back to like a Kami-centered heart and to alleviate unnecessary suffering and like help each other. So I feel like if the prayer is like aligning to that, then Kami-sama will like acknowledge it and like work towards like trying to make it all happen together, knowing that you're on the same like page and same side as Kami-sama. So I think it's like it's complicated. Like it's definitely not like the simple like you pray and God will answer it like yes or no. Like I don't think it's that simple. But it's kind of like just like communication. You know, it's like it's like continuously communicating with Kami-sama through all the complex situations and events and free will and all this happening in the human world on earth. And I don't even know how deep it goes because it might go deep to like I don't, it's like the butterfly effect, right? Like you don't know how things will affect each other, even like non-human things or like nature, environment. Like we don't know how much we don't know like as humans. So I always try to keep that in mind. Like I cannot see like the whole connecting world. I don't know how deep it goes or like what are the consequences of each action. Even if I think like you know what it's like? It's like in those cartoons when they like go back in time or something and they change like one tiny little thing and they're like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It's just this one little thing. It's not going to like do anything." And then it ends up changing the whole timeline. Like everything in the future changes and it's not always for the better. Like they think that if they go back in time and they do this one thing, it's going to make the future better. But then they do it and then like everything becomes worse because of like the unseen like chain of events. So I feel like it's kind of like that. Like when you're praying for something, like just accepting that like I want this to happen, but I'm gonna let Kami-sama guide how it can happen the best way possible. And like knowing that Kami-sama is acknowledging that prayer and like having that communication with Kami-sama is like very important. And like again, like having persistence that you continuously do it and it's not just like one and done, like you just pray to Kami-sama once and then you're done. It's like it should be like a continuous communication with Kami-sama. Okay, let's see. So Vadim says, I think it is important to be kind of specific in prayer, not to try to cover as much as possible, but to pray for gradual change for a big result. As we always say, turn big misfortunes into small ones and small misfortunes into good fortune. Yes, exactly. It's exactly like that. Um like I know that like if you like you can do both. Like you can say a general prayer, like for like, you know, I just want to have good health, or like thank you for good health, or like I just hope that we can stay happy, stable, and things are good. You know, these like general prayers are good, but if like something like really needs to change, it's good to be like specific about it, like as you said, because the more specific, like the more like the more you communicate to kami-sama, and the more like clear you are about a specific prayer, the more kami-sama can like respond to that and like find a way to make it specifically happen. So it's kind of like that complicated thing as well. So it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it in like a metaphor, but that's just how it is really. At least in Konko Faith, like to Tenshikano no Kami-sama in particular, like when you read through like the Gorikai and like other teachings, as you said, like turn big misfortunes into small ones and small misfortunes into good misfortunes, because it's like a gradual, specific, and precise communication with Kami-sama, and that's really really important. And again, that you just don't stop, because it's like if the big misfortune turned into a small misfortune and then you stop there, you would never have the small misfortune turn into a good one. So that's why like persistence and like continuous prayer is so important. And like Konko Daijin always said, like even though like so many bad things happened to me, even though Kami-sama was telling me like basically Kami-sama told Konko Daijin-sama like, everything's gonna be okay. I'm protecting you. Don't worry about the future, and like reassuring him and like guiding him. But bad things still happened to Konko Daijin-sama. Like he still had to go through a lot of like really tough difficulties with like the government and like his personal life. He got sick still. He had to go through so much. But even though he did, he again like he was persistent. Like he just did not stop praying and communicating and trusting in Kami-sama, especially. And I know like the modern mind might consider that like cynical, like, oh, why would you still trust Kami-sama even though like all these bad things are happening? You're just being like naive, and you're like being delusional and stuff like that. But honestly, like he just didn't listen. Like Konko Daijin-sama didn't listen, and just kept like persistently trusting Kami-sama. Because I think like my personal opinion is like I feel Kongo Daijin-sama knew like Kami-sama was working to help him, like help others and like protect him and like make things okay. Even though you couldn't like see it right away, like I feel like Konko Daijin-sama had the trust and knowledge that Kami-sama was working and doing what Kami-sama was saying, like I'll protect you, I'll take care of you, I'll make sure like everything will work out. And I feel like that trust is not naivety, but wisdom and knowledge to know that the being like Tenchika no Kami-sama that he was praying to is not like a fake Kami-sama or like wishful thinking or like something fluffy or abstract. Like this is a real, like this really is the like mitam, like the soul of the universe, like the core, like the root Kami. Like he knew that from deep down. That's why I feel like as well he was able to like just like keep persistently praying. And like that takes a lot of trust and like not like trust, and I don't know how to explain it, but I think trust is the biggest thing. Like when they say like practice faith, and like when Kongo Daiji sama says practice faith, I don't think it means like just believe in Kami-sama, like the existence of Kami-sama, but it means to trust, like practice trust in Kami-sama, like believe in them, have faith in them, in the fact that they are the existence that they are. And so like nothing is like they're very like powerful to be able to help. Just it's like the way the universe is just so complicated, and like it's not like as simple as just snapping your fingers and everything changes. and it takes time for things to change and like different arrangements. And I think with that knowledge and then that understanding of what Tenchi no Kami-sama is, enables you to have the base trust to keep trusting over time and keep practicing faith over time, and not giving up just because like bad things happen or like inconvenient things happen or even like tragic things can happen, but he still doesn't give up practicing faith. So I think that's like the key. Also, sorry, Vadim, I'll read your comments. Sorry with the YouTube cutting it down. Let me read it from the top here. So it's Vadim-san says, I think it is important to be kind of specific in prayer, not to try to cover as much as possible, but to pray for gradual change for a big result. As we always say, turn big misfortunes into small ones and small misfortunes into good fortune. And by setting more specific goals, we also help ourselves, because Kami-sama does not do all the work for us, but we work together. Yes. And by setting a more specific goal, we ourselves understand where we are going. Oh, exactly. That is true too. Because like going back to the example of like what you planted, when the seed of what you pray for like starts to sprout, then because you were so specific and because you know exactly what you're prayed for, you will recognize what is growing out of the soil, like the prayer that you prayed for is coming, and then you know how to like as you said, like how to react to it and how to protect it and how to make it grow more, like be fulfilled more as a prayer. So like when you pray for something specific, as you said, like it'll like you help yourself because you will recognize when the prayer is becoming more fulfilled, and then you'll be able to do the actions that can make it happen more and more. So it's like exactly as you said, like a specific prayer is not just good for like Kami-sama's and yours like communication, and like also helping to like recognize when like a great misfortune will become smaller into good good fortune. But also, as you said, like for it to be what you can recognize it and how to act towards it when it does come up. So that's also really important too. But it's not like to say like general prayers are like bad, I guess, either. Like they're still good to pray generally, like especially if you don't have a specific prayer, like keeping a consistent prayer is really important. So for example, what I mean by this is like where this really comes up is like when the teachings say like it's important to pray thankful for your good health like every day, and it's like acknowledging and like showing thanks to Kami-sama, to have gratitude for our good health. And because if we don't pray every day like for like thank you for good health, and then we get sick, like something really bad happens and we get sick, and then we suddenly start to pray like, oh my gosh, please cure me from this illness. And of course this is like a more specific prayer, like please cure me from like my cold or something. And it's not as like resonant in that moment because you're like in pain and you're sick and you're like panicking, and there hasn't been a lot of communication with Kami-sama from your own heart. So now there's like everything's really like really intense for yourself, like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself in that moment. So when you have the peaceful times and like the blessing, like the time where there's a lot of things are going well and peaceful, it's still important to like kind of pray like generally, like in gratitude, especially like you don't have to ask for anything, just like praying in gratitude, like thank you for good health, thank you for the roof over my head, thank you for food, thank you for these clothes. And then like if something does happen, like knock on wood, like Kami-sama forbid, if something does happen, then when it comes time to pray for a specific prayer, like praying for recovery from an illness, then you will have like, because you have the consistency from before of continuously praying, then it makes it easier to like change the prayer to something more specific, to help you overcome it. And like you won't be like as frazzled or like panicked as much, and like you'll be able to connect to Kami-sama more naturally than if like suddenly like you're not praying at all and then suddenly you need to start praying because things are really bad. It kind of makes it more harder on yourself. So like general prayers are good like when you don't really have something specific and just keep communicating. But when you do have something specific, it is better to like just say the specific thing to kami-sama rather than like not like being like generalizing it. So I think that's really key as well when we're praying. I think that's really really important. And also like not only that, but like the other thing is like in the teachings I'm trying to remember the exact thing, but basically it's like it's like if you're praying for something specific in that moment of like an emergency, it's kind of like if like let's say let's say as a metaphor, people always talk about like fire prevention, right? So like, you know, turn off your stove, make sure you take out the candles, don't plug in crazy stuff, right? And like following those rules usually makes sure that nothing happens. Like no fire will happen because you're following these prevention rules. And if you don't follow the rules, then it's more likely a fire will happen. So what I'm trying to say with this is like the general prayers too, and like praying to Kami-sama daily about usual stuff is sort of like the fire prevention. Like you're practicing faith daily, you're keeping a connection with Kami-sama. Like maybe there's nothing you really want to pray for, but it's good to have that just daily worship and practice. And it doesn't even have to be in front of the Kamidana. Like you just pray like in your mind to Kami-sama, and Kami-sama will hear it because it's from your sincere heart. But then doing that is like keeping the connection with Kami-sama will like also naturally just like make the incidents of something crazy happen or like an emergency less as well. So like it's again it's like the fire prevention. Like if you keep a constant communication with Kami-sama and like connection, then it means that also will like bring more like blessings and fortune in your life, and you're having a heart that's able to receive the blessings because of the connection to Kami-sama. But if you're just like not practicing faith like that, and it's just like, you know, you're just living your life generally and like just deciding things without praying to Kami-sama about it, or just like doing whatever you feel freely without like thinking too much about it, then it's riskier, similar to the fire prevention, where it's like you're plugging in a whole bunch of stuff and like you left the candles on, left the stove on, and then suddenly there's a fire, and now it's like, oh my god. And then you call 911. It's like emergency praying to Kami-sama, and Kami-sama is like scramble like the firefighters and like try to put the fire out. But then it's like it's crazy because it's like a whole emergency, and like it's harder to like save what the fire could damage. So prevention is better than like a cure or like a fix. So it's the same with prayer. Like practicing faith daily is better than having to pray in an emergency or like something really bad happening. It's better to just keep praying to Kami-sama every day, than only then like something happens and then you have to pray. So that's really important too. And honestly, not just in Konko Faith, but like for like general as well. Like it's good to have that practice. Um, you know, a lot of unfortunately, like a lot of people in Japan, they only pray when like something happens. Like, oh my god, my exam's coming up, I gotta pray. Or like, oh my god, like I have a big event, I gotta pray. Like, and then that's kind of like the firefighter again, like example. Like everything's an emergency, it's not gonna be perfect. It's like all this chaos. Um, but if the person was going to the shrine every day and praying to Kami-sama every day, then it's like, of course, Kami-sama is going to help them make things go smoothly. So, and then they feel more secure to keep a consistent and like stable position as well. So it's like that. Let's see. William-san says, Japanese people on YouTube are lucky. They can fit bigger thoughts because one kanji can be one word. Yes, exactly. They're so lucky. That's why I felt like I didn't think there was a problem with the YouTube because I'm used to like Japanese live streams where like people write a whole thing and I'm like, oh, that yeah, you can do it in English too, and no, you can't do it in English too. So unfortunately, um, but sorry, I should have noticed that you put like the one, but it's okay. Like it's okay. Next time I'll just like make sure to capture the one, like the parts. But it's a really good thought, and thank you so much for sharing it with the chat and in the stream to talk about it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But yeah, it's just like I think that's like something that Konko really taught me is like how to pray to Kami-sama, and so it's not like a big emergency all the time, or like you shouldn't like some there. I remember some times in the past, like other like this kind of sentiment where like you're only supposed to pray to Kami-sama if something happens. Like you shouldn't really like bother Kami-sama. I guess like what I mean by that is like doing like a prayer at the jinja or like the big shrine, like not your kamidana, but like the whole shrine. Um, and it's like I don't know, it's like, but I don't think that's how we should do that because it's like it does make sense more to just keep praying and going consistently than just coming when there's an emergency. Because it just makes things easier on yourself and makes things easier for coming someone to help you. So yeah, I think that's important. Oh, so Redeem-san says, also Olivia Sensei, have you read the March issue of Konko Kyoho? There's an article, AI and Faith by Kyokai Cho of Matsushima Kyokai. I think it would be interesting to read. Oh, thank you so much. I haven't got a chance. Thank you. I haven't got a chance to read the Kyoho yet because like my friend was visiting and like so many things are happening. But thank you so much. I'm gonna check it out and maybe like on the Tuesday stream we could talk about it. Um, but oh my god, I hope it's like I'm interested to read because AI is such a hot topic now in Japan. I don't know if you guys heard, but there was like a Buddha like AI priest. Like in the Buddhist temples, they put a robot and he's called Buddha Royd, and he like you can like ask him for like spiritual guidance and like the teachings of Buddhism. And I'm like, I don't know about that. But they said they developed it because there was like a rural population problem. Like people, there wasn't enough priests to take care of the temples, so they like made robot priests. Um, so I guess, but I don't think a priest should be replaced by a robot. But I mean, not because like of what I'm doing in my job and like with Yokusuka Kyokai and like as a minister, but like what I mean by that is like just on a human scale, I wouldn't want to ask spiritual advice from a robot. I wouldn't want to get spiritual advice from ChatGPT and like anything. I would want to ask like an elder who has like life experience and like connection to Kami-sama and like they've been through a lot and they know what they're talking about. I wouldn't want to ask a robot. So just in general, like I don't know about it, but I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea. Um, but the good thing, at least like it should be that like in Konko and like Shinto world, that like priests should not be replaced by AI or robots because the whole thing is like about the person's heart and their connection to Kami-sama. So like if that doesn't exist, like it's not about the ritual per se or like the prayers. Like as we mentioned before, like there was a thing before where like in temples they would play the recordings of the sutras. So it wasn't even a person chanting, but just like a recording. But that wouldn't be possible in like Konko or Shinto because it's not the prayer itself that's like the important part. It's not the actual like chanting, but it's the heart of the person who is chanting. That is the important part. Like not the words themselves, but the spirit behind the words, like the kotodama. So I I think that's where the difference is. Like you can't play a recording here because it's like meaningless. It only means something if the person praying has the heart to pray. So I think like maybe that's why there's like a difference. But it's like I don't know. Dimsa says, I think in Buddhism they're not so attached to human nature, like everything is illusion, etc. Yeah, it could be that too. Like I don't know too much because I'm not like really into the Buddhist like culture and like I know like book knowledge Buddhism, but I know that like experience knowledge Buddhism could be very different. So I don't want to like say like it's like this when I don't actually have the experience. But I could, yeah, it could be that too. Like they, like the teachings that I know of, like talk about like it's not like about like human, like it's not like first of all in Buddhism, like traditionally, like as far as I've read, there's not even like the belief really in the soul technically, like in like core Buddhism, like there's not really a belief in a soul. So and like humans are kind of like transient and everything's very transient, like you said, like an illusion. So like I can see why like there would be a distinction between like that mindset and then like the Shinto mindset where it's like everything has a soul and it what the soul is like feeling is like the most important thing. So it's like really distinct in that way. But I know like Japanese Buddhism can kind of like blend them, but then it depends on the sect. So like I'm not sure. But if someone more knowledgeable about Buddhism can say, that would be good, and we could talk about that too in the next time. But it's interesting like how different it is between the two religions at times. But I hope that like we remember that in Konko Faith and we don't try to have like Chat GPT Toritsugi. I think I will die. I think I'll faint. I'm joking, but like it's that would be crazy. Um, I don't know. I think AI has been around for a long time. Like general artificial intelligence, it has been around for like a really really long time. But I think like the newest stuff with like generative artificial intelligence and like Chat GPT and all this stuff, I think it's like people are kind of jumping to conclusions like too far like about its capabilities and like its role in our lives as humanity and the functions it should be serving. And I don't know why there's a push to replace like very humanity centered um like like practices, I guess, like religion, art, writing, poetry, etc. It's not like menial labor like shoveling snow or like like even gardening honestly or farming, like it's not oriented toward that. So it's like I don't know why. Because like it feels bad that it's like they're trying to like insert like a non-human program into areas of life that need a kind of like human touch or like a touch of the soul. Like again, so it's like especially religion and art, these are like the core of like where we believe in the concept of a soul kind of comes from this area of life. So it's like I'm not sure why, but hopefully people like who work in AI kind of, I mean I feel like a lot of people who work in AI know already, but like I mean like the whole like money making side and like the like advertising the image of it. So I'm not sure. But yeah, unfortunately in Japan, like everyone thinks it's like the best thing ever and everyone's using it. And it's like I don't understand why. And especially shrines and temples are like just like yes, AI, and I'm like, oh no, why? I don't understand. Oh, sorry, I read your comment. So Vadim says that's why I thought it's interesting that Hombo pretty quickly posted something about generative AI. I mean, after a few years, people use it, but pretty quickly for religious fear anyway. Yeah, it's like it's kind of like showing that they're more like in touch, honestly. But I don't think like unfortunately, as we know, like not all. kyokai are immune, because like we've seen um kyokai use AI, like Instagram posts or like advertisements or like, and it's just, I don't know why. And I've seen like other shrines and temples like on their Instagram, or like even on the shrine grounds, like there'll be like a poster like of advertising something like an event or a matsuri, and it's all AI. It's an AI poster. And I'm like, oh no, like I'm like, I don't understand why they're using AI. Especially because I'm sure like the person who had been drawing the posters before would have been happy to keep drawing the posters. But now it's like they're just like making a whole bunch of AI stuff. And I think even some like Goshuin, like the shrine stamp, like some of them are just AI generated designs. And then yeah, they just like print it and then write the date, and it's like, mm. I guess they think it's trendy. Like my idea, or like my impression, is that they think it's trendy and like cool, so they try to like follow that to like keep in touch with everybody, but they don't understand how it's like not actually like cool. And it's not like, it's trendy now because it's like so controversial and like everyone's talking about it, and but it's not like it's like a positive. So I've had to like try to explain to a lot of like not shrines I don't know or familiar with, but like people I am familiar with. I try to like tell them like or not tell them, but like suggest to them that maybe it's not the best thing to do for religious purposes, because it's just so bad. But speaking of Goshuin, I just, before I wrap up for today, I know it's a little bit short, but tomorrow is the monthly ceremony, so I gotta start preparing and everything. But just for today, I want to wrap up is that a really interesting thing happened today as well. Is that like after we went to Shiba Kyokai, we stopped. We wanted to go to another shrine, um, called Sakura Jingu, and we saw it post about it on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram too, I'm like, oh, it looks so pretty. Like it's a nice shrine. And my friend was like, yeah, I saw the shrine. It's so nice. And like I was surprised because like Izanami Okami-sama is enshrined there, and like she doesn't have a lot of shrines. And my friend like prays to Izanami Okami-sama as well. So I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. So we wanted to check it out because it's pretty close to Shiba Kyokai, like relatively. So well, at least it's easy to get there and it feels fast. So we go over there, and we like there was like this huge line, like people were like lining up from like the back to like all the way around, all the way into the front of the shrine office. And it must have been like a 6 hour wait. Like I'm not joking. Like it probably was like 5 or 6 hours waiting just for the Goshuin stamp and like Omamori and stuff. And I was like, oh my god. And like, why is everyone? And then my friend is like, oh my god, it's probably because of the Instagram post, because it went viral. So like all the Instagram people want to come here. And it was so sad because like we got to the shrine, and I'm like, and there was a staff member, and he was like, oh, you're here for the Goshuin, like take it, like I'll give you a number and you can just line up. And I'm like, no, we're here to worship, like just to pray. And he's like, oh, and because I used the word sampai, and that's like kind of like a religious like term, like not like super uncommon, but it's uncommon enough for like a foreigner. So he was like, oh, like you're here to worship, and he like instantly changed his mood. And I'm like, yeah, we're here to pray. And so like we go to pray, and the line was like super tiny to pray. But the line for the like the merchandise, like like the Goshuin stamp, basically. Well, I say it because like people were treating it like that, like the trend from Instagram, like they didn't see it as anything religious at all. um but the line for that was huge, and then the line to pray was like tiny. And I was like, okay, like this is like the typical state of like a lot of shrines in Japan, is like people come more for like a secular or like light reason, and that's okay. Like I'm not judging it because we also wanted to get the goshuin. Like I'm gonna be honest, like we also wanted to get it because it was pretty, and we're like, oh my god, it's so cute. And there's like the little sakuras, and we're like, I love it. But also like our primary reason for going there was to worship. But we're like, oh, while we're there, let's get the thing. But then it was like a whole situation, and it just made me like reminded me like how a lot of like modern Japanese like mindset, um they don't really think about the worship side first. Like it's kind of like just go to the shrine for like something like personal or like more secular, and like the worship part or like the religious part is more like kind of like no one really thinks about it as much. So that's why like I know some people say like like to be like to really know like Japanese religion and like Shinto, like you have to be Japanese, and I'm like, no, it's really a matter if you like study it or not, because most Japanese people, they don't focus on it really. And that's okay. Again, like that's okay. It's just a little bit shocking, like the cultural, like I guess like not cultural but like difference in perspectives between people who worship for like religious reasons or spiritual reasons versus people who come to the shrine for like a secular reason, like even just like Hatsumode, like New Year's prayer, or the Omamori, the Jiohin or the Goshuin. Like that is more like common, especially in modern times. So it's just like a matter of like cultural perspectives in the modern age. But it was like very shocking to see. And the other shocking thing was that we found out this was like the headquarters of one of the Kyoha Shinto faiths. So I'm gonna try to pronounce this, and Masafumi Sensei kept correcting me, and I'm gonna try to pronounce it correctly. So it's Shinshukyo. It's not new religion. It's not Shinshukyo, like not new religion, but Shin as in kami, and I don't remember the other kanji, but it's like kami something teaching. It's not new religion, but it's like kami. Let me find it. Hold on. But it was that Kyoha Shinto faith, and I was so shocked because we all thought it was like a normal like neighborhood shrine. Um, we didn't think it would be like we didn't think it would be a Kyoha Shinto shrine, and let alone the headquarters of that Kyoha Shinto faith. And when we first realized it, because like we um we went to the shrine to pray, and I noticed on the little like board it said like bow twice, clap four times, and bow once more. And I was like, clap four times. I'm like, that's only like Izumo and Konko thing. They're both Kyoha Shinto. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, hold on. And then I see like the name. I'm like, oh my god, it's a Kyoha Shinto. And then we realized it was like the headquarters of this one. Um, oh my gosh, hold on. I'm trying to find. Here we go. Here it is. Okay. Yeah. Shin. Here we go. I'm just gonna copy the name. Sorry. Okay, wait. Here, this one. Shinshuku. Not. I'm gonna write the other way. Hold on. Shinshuku. Is that? I think this is it. This is the kanji. I always have to check the kanji, because when I think it's the kanji, it's not the kanji. So yeah, I always have to make sure. So yeah, so this is Shin. Yes, thank you. Yes, this is Shin. It's like pronounce. I swear, it's like the same. It's like slightly different, but it every time I say it, it comes out the same for some reason. This is new religion, like new religious movement is like Shin Shu Shukyo. Okay, yeah, the hiragana is the same, but the intonation is different. But I don't know. I swear I'm trying to pronounce it, but like I feel like most Sense is gonna watch this. Seems like you pronounce it wrong. Like, sorry, but it was the headquarters for this Kyoha Shinto, and it was I was surprised because I didn't expect it to be there. But I was really happy. I was happy because I was like glad that then I started to change my mindset because like usually I'm like, oh my gosh, like the secular mind of the Japanese people. But then I'm like, oh, but then they're like, this is still supporting the shrine, and if it's the headquarters, I'm like, because it is the headquarters of this Kyoha Shinto faith, I was happy that it was getting like lots of support. Like even if nobody there realized at all, probably, I was really glad that I could see like they were getting support, even if it was like a little bit unconventional. But I was glad about it. Like unconventional in the like religious spiritual sense. Like it was because they were just here for the Goshuin, but that's okay too. Like because it still supported the shrine and the headquarters of this faith. So I was glad. And I felt kind of cool too. Like me and my friends, we felt kind of cool because like everyone was clapping 2 times, but then we were like, oh, we noticed the sign and we noticed the kyo, and we had the knowledge of the kyoha shinto, so we're like, we clapped 4 times, and we clapped 4 times, and then everyone behind us started to clap 4 times, and I was like, oh, I feel so happy. Like we tried to teach in an indirect way the proper way to pray. And then I started to wonder, like, maybe is it like a Kyoha Shinto tradition to like clap 4 times, or like are they like were they like the face allowed to clap 4 times? Because is that like showing like I'm not sure. Like I have to like research more like why, because I knew Izumo faith like clapped 4 times since like a long time ago, like before Kyoha Shinto designation. And I know Konko Faith, I think that there was another reason they clapped 4 times as well. Like it was before also Kyoha Shinto, I think. But then now this one is also clapping 4 times. So I'm like, is it a Kyoha Shinto? Like, I have to research more because unfortunately there's like so little information even online, and it's so hard to find information in person. So I'm like, I gotta find out. Maybe I gotta go back to the shrine and like when it's not crazy busy with all the Instagram people, I gotta like talk to the priest there and be like, hello, like I need to find information. I did take a pamphlet, and I don't think the pamphlet mentions the Kyoha Shinto. Like I think it's like a very like, if you know, you know, but if you're like a tourist, like you don't need, like they don't just don't talk about it because it's like way complicated history. So I'm like, but I want to ask the priest when it's not super busy. Oh, okay. Yeah, the furigana is the same. But like Matsuri sense like it's like sheen. Like I think the sheen part is pronounced different. Like it's like sheen. Sorry, the kami sheen and like the new sheen is like different intonation. It's kind of like kaki. So like kaki is usually like, sorry, kaki is like persimmon, and kaki I think is like clams. And it's really hard for me as like as like Japanese is not my native language, so it's very hard for me to like hear the difference. But I do my best, and I think it's the same here. Like the sheen for kami is like different than the sheen for new, and not the shukyo part, but the other part. I'm sorry, I'm like making a fool of myself on live stream, but like I think that's the main difference. But it's interesting to see. And yes, wasn't the four oh so I don't know if Tenrico clapped 4 times. I didn't know that. But if they do, then that's probably a Kyoha Shinto. Like I don't know why everyone's clapping 4 times. It's really interesting. And Seth says it wasn't the 4 times thing about the wordplay between the number 4 and the word death. Ah yes, so that was like one of the teachings about it. And I feel like there was like another teaching, like clap 2 times for heaven and clap 2 times for earth. And there's like a few other teachings, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure they like. There's not like, not that I'm not sure. It's like I've asked about it before, and there's like many teachings about it, but there's like no specific like true like genuine like this is the reason why that I've been told, like, and I've tried to ask like Kenkyusho, like the research institute, so I'm not sure. um but it's interesting, like maybe I don't know. Like maybe they always clapped 4 times before. Like maybe it wasn't like a Kyoha Shinto thing, but because Kyoha Shinto is like older than Jinja Shinto, maybe like it was originally like because hold on, let me go backwards. So like in the Gorikai, Konko Daijin says like I remember reading that like most people aren't allowed to clap at all. Like they would just silently pray or like do like a silent clap. And then like only priests were allowed to clap to like call kami-sama. So like if you were clapping, like making the noise, it was like a special thing because that meant like you were calling kami-sama to hear your prayer. But it didn't specify the number of claps, so like maybe it was always four for like priests, and then the common person just did like shinobi hakushu, like a quiet one, or just didn't clap at all. But then maybe like after all the reformations, like the Kyoha kept the old way, and then or like that was like the way to pray, and then they like kept it, or like I don't actually. I'm just like trying to think like the reason why. And then maybe like Jinja Honcho like later or like the Meiji government made it just like two claps as like a standard. Because I remember hearing like at Issei Jingo too, like in Issei Faith, there's some priests that clap like 8 times. Like they clap like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. And they clap like 8 times. And I guess 8 is like, infinite, like clapping to all the kami-sama. So I need to like I've been trying to research this for a long time because I felt like it was important like to understand like why is it 2 claps, why is it 4, why have I seen 8? And some people were clapping 3 times. Yeah, like it's so different between like the faiths and like hit through time. And I really want to understand why. And like maybe it goes back to like the An court, like the noble court. Like because I remember I was watching a Kagura dance, like a no dance, and they were like recreating like the An palace, like noble setting with like Kami-sama and the person. And I remember one of the characters in the Kagura, like whenever they wanted to speak to like the lord of the kami-sama, like it wasn't always a kami-sama, it could have been like a human lord. They would do like this. It was like faster though. It was like, and then he would bow immediately. So like maybe it's from the palace. Like maybe it was like maybe like 2 was like for like people, and then like 4 was for kami-sama. Like I'm not sure, but I'm trying to research like about it since for a long time ago. But it's really hard to find information. Like I feel like it's one of those traditions that like people remember it through time and like follow it through time, but then like the meaning, like the actual like specific explanation is like not like recorded. Like I feel like it was like a really old tradition, but like the actual like manual, I guess, is not there. Like I'm not sure because I haven't found anything like that. Let's see. Okay, so Redeem-san says the oh wait, sorry, I'll read the other comments. Or maybe clapping twice as much provides twice as many blessings. Maybe. That's straight up a round of applause. Yeah. I saw a video of it once. It was like priests from Issei. They went to like one of the smaller like shrines on the Issei grounds, and they were like just like clapping really fast. It wasn't like because usually when you clap, when you do hakushu, you have to do it like kind of slow, and you have to like open your arms. So it's kind of like officially it's like this, and you like do it kind of slowly. Like you're not supposed to do it fast. But they were doing it fast, and they weren't like moving their arms out as far. So I'm not sure. Like I don't again like, and then in the no play and the Kagura play, like the clap was fast. So I don't know, like maybe again, like it was from the palace, and then they adjusted it for Kami-sama, and then they like made it more formal. I'm not sure. Um, and so yeah, Redeem says there's like people didn't clap 4 times because 4 sounds like she death, like Kyoso-sama said that she is like shiawase, happiness. And as I remember in Tenriko, they also explain it like yon claps comes from shiawase. Yeah, yeah. I don't, I'm not sure, but I love that teaching. Honestly, I love it because like again, it's like you don't have to worry about the superstitions. You just like keep the tradition and not worry. And yeah, like she doesn't like first of all, like four in the original Japanese is yon, but the Chinese reading of the kanji for four, yon, is she, and then she is like the native or like I think the Chinese word for death and the Japanese word for death are both she. So that's kind of like where they got the superstition from. So like they started to avoid four from like the Chinese influence. But like in Shinto, like for example the shide is also again like she. It's like four like papers, like zigzag papers. And I've seen a writing of shide, which is like four hands. So that's interesting too. And I think they changed the kanji for it because like hold on, sorry, like kanji is like is like something that I need to work on. So this is like the real kanji, like not the real, but like you know the typical kanji for shide is like this, and it's like I'm pretty sure. Hold on, I'm just gonna double check so I don't embarrass myself. Yeah, so the first kanji is like paper, and the second kanji is like an like I think wait, I'm not actually sure. Wait, it's like I think it's to like denote. It's like a Shinto object. So that's like a special kanji. Like it's like a something used for like traditional religious purposes kind of kanji nuance accord and like apparently or like yeah. So I'm not sure, but anyway, so that kanji is like very specific. But I remember seeing like the older kanji for it was oh my god, I cannot type. Wait, hold on. Yon te. I'm just gonna do it like this. Okay, she did. So four hands, and I feel like that one makes more sense because like there is like four like hands, I guess. So like you know one like you know you could do like four hands image, I guess. Um, so I feel like that makes sense. But then I guess they changed it because like four is like death associated number, and it's like unlucky, like 13 in the West. So maybe that's why they changed it. Um, but it's like interesting that it's still in the dictionary though. Wait, sorry. Oh my god, I'm like all over the place. Yeah, when I look it up in the dictionary in like Kotobank, it's still there. Like I'm not making this up. Like there still is a shide four hands. Um, and it doesn't say the history though, but yeah, it's like the older way to say it. Anyway, the whole point of this the whole point of this tangent is that like four was also kind of like a number often used in like specific circumstances in like Shinto Japanese tradition, but because of like the Chinese influence and the alternate way to read four, it's like I became like unlucky, like an unlucky number, like 13 in the West. Sorry. Regine says my Russian Japanese dictionary says that te is like to hang. Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think it's like I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that like probably the kanji of like paper and this one together are specifically just for like the image of the shide, like as in like a paper streamer, I guess, like to denote what it is. Like it's not just paper as in like because the kanji like the first kanji shi, it's like just like paper, like you know, regular paper. But then the kanji beside it probably is explaining it's not regular paper, it's like the shide. paper. So that's probably what's happening. I think. So like you hang it, or like it's an object specific for shrines. Um, and it's probably weird like this because they made it as an alternate. Like how, like the word is shide, like that the word doesn't change, but the kanji can change for like many reasons. I remember there's some other places in Japan they had like an original kanji, but it sounded kind of bad. So like there's like a lot of stories where like a place had an original kanji that sounded kind of bad, but the emperor was gonna visit that place, so they changed the kanji to like something with better meaning, and it wasn't as like a bad like vibe kanji. It was like good vibes kanji. Um, so that's kind of interesting. Um, I want to say that happened to Kanagawa Prefecture. Um, but I feel like I heard the story at some point. Like they changed the kanji for Kanagawa. Um, but I feel like maybe I hope I didn't dream that. But I feel like I remember reading that, and then they changed it. They changed it because Kanagawa means like kami, and like the na is like a phonetic one, and it's just like a phonetic reason, and then gawa is like the river. So it's like Kami's river basically. They changed it to Kanagawa. Yeah, like Owakudani too. Like they changed it. It used to be Jigokudani, like Hell Valley, but they changed it to Owakudani, which I think it means like great, great. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, kanji. I love kanji. Hold on. All right, let me just. I'm just gonna grab the kanji because it makes it easier when you see it. So this is Owakudani, and it used to be Jigoku, which is Hell Dani, which is like Hell Valley. Because it's like a volcano, an active volcano valley. Um, so it looks like Jigoku. So that's what they called it. But then the emperor visited, so they changed the kanji and they changed the name too because I don't think there's any other way you can spell Jigoku. And the kanji is meaning like, oh yeah, great like pouring valley, like the image of like a surge of like turbulent, or like springs, like great springs valley, to like denote the like hot springs and the fumes and stuff. So, and yeah. Yeah, so yeah, they named it. Yeah, so like if you, it makes sense if you look, if you see Owakudani, it looks scary, like like it looks like hell, like Buddhist hell. Like there's like it's like huge, like steamy, um, like it looks pretty scary, and it is scary because like the gas can like kill you, like the volcano fumes. So that's probably why they named it that. But then the emperor's like, I want to visit, and then they changed it to make it not scary. Yeah, it does look like hell. It's fun. It's fun. I love it. So it's good. I love it. So it says, I really hope that one day I can find good vibes kanji and bad vibes kanji as categories in a textbook. Yeah, me too. I need to study kanji more. Like I've studied kanji like the whole time I've been here, but it's not enough. Especially it's not enough because there's like I know like the kanji, like kanji, and then reading, and then the meaning, but then I don't know like the combinations, because when you combine them, like it's like it becomes a completely different thing. So like I remember one situation. Oh yeah, no, it's okay with you. Yeah, like it looks scary. Like I think I'm like, okay, I get it. I get why they said Jigokudani. But like one kanji, for example, is like 7 rings. Like it's like the kanji for like seven and then rings. But it actually means like barbecue when you put it together. So like it's stuff like that I do not like. Like, oh my god, I need to understand this. Um, I need to understand kanji. And I like genuinely need to, because if I don't, I cannot write the saishi from scratch. And that is not a good situation for like if I have to write saishi. Yeah. Wait, let me see something. Sorry, I'm like, oh my god. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. Sorry, I'm just checking the kanjis because again, like, and then the other problem is that like there's some kanji where it's like, like there's a word where you like know it, and like you can spell it and say it, but then like the common kanji for that word is not the right kanji for like the specific context of what you're doing or like saying. So that's why I get more confused, because it's like there's so many rules you have to like figure out with kanji, and it's a whole thing. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I wish I could understand, but okay, I can't find it. But it's okay. But it's just like, it's just things like that, right? So and then again, like the phonetic kanji is like something I really struggle with too, because it's like there will be like a name or something and it's all phonetic kanji, but like the kanji like individually, if you read them like that, it makes no sense at all. So like a lot of kami-sama names, they have like phonetic kanji, and you're like, oh, okay, like not Amaterasu Omikami-sama, like her name like makes sense, like shining in heaven, that like that makes sense. Or like, Waka Hirume no Mikoto, like young day or sun woman. Like those names make sense. But there's some other kamisama names where it's like all like just phonetic kanji. And you're like, oh, what does their name mean? And you try to look it up and it makes absolutely no sense at all. It means like, I don't know, it would mean like box, valley, crow, and like wing and wind, and you're like, what is happening? Because the name is older than the writing, and there's no like kanji equivalent to explain the name, so they just use like the phonetic kanji. And it's like katakana before katakana, so they just put the kanji, and that is very confusing because you're trying to understand like the origin of a name, but it doesn't happen. So it's very confusing. Also, hi Avery-san. Oh, thank you for coming, but I do have to kind of start wrapping up now. It's 2 o'clock, and tomorrow is the monthly ceremony, so I have to kind of get ready. Oh no, it's okay. Don't worry. Please don't worry at all. Um, I will. I guess like next week is the like usual meetings, so we can definitely talk there. And I'll go live again on Tuesday night. So it's only Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So it's only like 3 days, and we'll have another chat. But yeah, it was good for today. Thank you so much. And I'm glad you can join us, because like even though like I do have to go, but I'm glad I could see you before we went. But yeah, Williamson says, I love that back then there was a furigana for every kanji in Konko books. I was reading modern Konko books today, and there's no furigana for ceremony names and stuff like that. Like it's not obvious. Oh no, yes. Same here. Like without furigana, I'm so lost. It's so confusing, and it's even hard for like native Japanese people. Like you have to go to university and like study language and like the arts to like really understand, like just to read it. And of course, like a lot of people reading the Kongo books are like very highly educated, so they'll be able to read like the terms and stuff. But like, but like, if Japanese is not your first language, it's very, very difficult, and I get confused all the time. And I have to like look it up in the dictionary, and like it's like a whole process to find out like the real meaning, because I don't want to like misunderstand. Oh no, no, farmer educated level. Sorry, me too though. Like I'm a peasant. I don't know. I'm a like illiterate Edo period peasant. I don't know these kanji. I'm joking, but it's so hard. It's like so hard to remember all the kanjis. Avery-san says the past day for me has been rough. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, I hope you can rest after and hopefully take it easy. I know it's been hard for you recently, so I hope I've been praying things get better for you. But it's like it's hard recently. Mm. But yeah, hopefully things get better. um, but yeah, so I guess I'm so sorry, but yeah, I really appreciated like having the time to talk to everyone today, and we kind of like it was good, and I'm like, happy to have like fun as well, like just chatting and like looking up kanjis and stuff. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. It was really good, and see you next time as well. And yeah, if there's anything else like you wanted to comment or like have anything you want to say, please let me know. And thank you so much. Yes, thank you. It was good to see you guys. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate you coming. And again, like if you guys ever want to start your own streams or like just post and I will be there too. So thank you so much. Okay, see you for now, and I'll host the monthly ceremony tomorrow as well at nighttime, and also our Kyokai's official monthly ceremony, but it's the usual time. So either way, just don't mind. Okay, well, thank you so much, and bye for now. Arigatou gozaimasu. Bye everyone. Thank you.